moment is here, you can stop your search. It's Comics by Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch, and this may be an odd little video. So I talked to a bunch of people in mail, and some of the conversations I have are obviously not questions for the channel, so they're not things I bring up, but they do bring up thoughts. I do get to the point where I think about things that I want to talk about on the channel, and sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. I've heard from a lot of I don't want to say aggravated people who are, I often say creatives, but more often than it's not the creators, it's editors, it's people in marketing, it's people who are full-time employees inside of companies. And it's weird because I know that I aggravate many of them because, you know, what I try and say on this channel is not crazy fiction. And I think most people, if they're being honest, inside companies would say that I'm not inventing stuff, I'm not lying, I'm not just negative for negativity's sake. But at the same time, when you're not really happy with your job, when you're not really thrilled about the way things are going, or you feel undervalued or underpaid, you don't really want to have some jackass out there talking about how things are wrong. And so I try and do a balance of here's some things that are right, here's some things that are wrong. I feel though it's unfulfilling. I will tell you, as somebody who does this, as a guy who does this channel, it's unfulfilling because if I talk about the things that are going right, then I've got a group of, the audience that comes in and tells me I'm, head in the sky, fantasy and just a douchebag for saying things are too good. And if I talk about things that are wrong, then I get the other side of the world coming in to tell you about how I'm too negative and everything else. It's very unfulfilling, I will say. I'm looking for that magical topic where people just, they're not unhappy. I would say I did the video of me putting comics into a box to ship out. By the way, Jim and I Jump 100% fulfilled. Sorry, no, that's not true because Larry still is going to do the commissions for a few of the people who signed up for that. But if you order the comic has been shipped. It's out. It's in the mail. Several people have already started getting it. I've seen photos on Twitter. Stuff's been coming in. That's awesome. Love it. And that's just great news to see that people are getting their comics. So love that. If for some reason you ordered the digital version, you haven't gotten it yet, reach out to me. I know that spam filters caught a bunch of you on Gmail in particular, if you have a Gmail account. But if you haven't got your comic for some reason, reach out, let me know. I'll figure it out where things are going. But I thought that packing a box, how could that be controversial? But sure enough, we found a way there. I'm being accused of shaming other crowdfunding campaigns. You cannot win. But this is a topic that came in mail that I find, I don't know, I can't quite get rid of it. I can't not think about it. And I want to read a piece of this, even though again, this mail was not intended as a question. But I'll read two parts of it. The person is saying, hey, I'm giving up on comics for a little while. But I should have hit a wall after one more day, and I really should have walked away when Irredeemable came out, but I didn't, and I just don't want to keep torturing myself. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. The real straw that broke the camel's back was something I'll never not be convinced. Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man was meant to retcon one more day. Finally, then Joe got cold feet and ordered it turned into something else. I went down to Baltimore last month and took every fiber of my being not to walk right up to Quesada when he was signing and scream, "Can't you just bring it back? Who's it hurting? Who's it even for? Why do you care? Can't you just leave us alone at least?" Then I remembered I was 43 years old. The truth of that hurts, right? Because the problem with comics right now, and I don't know if it's a problem, is that there's a lot of frustrating things in there. It's hard to look at comics and not think to yourself, man, life would be so much easier with just these tiny little tweaks. Like if you listen to a lot of channels, you get this impression that there's massive problems, that there's huge fundamental broken things in comics, and that the whole system is rotted to the core and it has to be completely uprooted and destroyed. And yet that we see time and time again when comics come out, they're even marginally okay. I mean, the funny part is I was having lunch with somebody a couple days ago, and the point of view the person said, their perspective was that House of X Powers of 10 was actually not that good. It was okay. But, you know, if you compare it to some of the good stuff that even, and he was fascinating. So he's like, even Grant Morrison, even Joss Whedon, if you go further back, certainly to Claremont, but you go to some of the kind of the big names on X-Men, and their storylines blew this stuff away. But because we'd had such a drought of good X-Men content for so long, House of X Powers of 10 looked like Shakespeare. It looked like you know, the renaissance of all things that are comics. But in reality, not really. It just, you know, we'd been starved. And it's frustrating, though, to think that even small little changes can create huge fan happiness, fan appeal. And yet here we are making what feel like very, very easy, very, very small mistakes. And so this mail kind of goes on. I want to read this part of it because this is a part that's stuck in my head. It's basically saying there's a scene in Farscape where Scorpius, the series villain, tells the hero John Crichton that he doesn't desire power, he wants revenge against a horrific race of bad guys. And the writer says, I don't want revenge, I want better comics. And the mail goes on, but it gets me. I started asking myself, what do I want? I don't want revenge. There are some people in comics who have done me wrong. When I say done me wrong, what I mean by that is there's some people in comics who agreed to come to my shop for a signing and never showed up. There's some people who, went on to Yelp and said nasty things about my shop and hurt my business. There's customers who have, ordered big things and then not shown up and stuck me with a bill. There's publishers who have promised certain things in comics and not delivered, like Batman's Wedding, for example. There's, a distributor who's sent me stuff that is broken and destroyed and battered. And despite all that, and what's interesting is of the things I mentioned there, it's a huge cross-section. Like, it's funny because there's one creator out there who I really dislike. And I dislike that creator because of something that that creator did over many times. But they did me dirty. They did me wrong. Now, if I mention that creator's name, you would be shocked. It's not who you think. It's not anyone you would think. You would never guess it in a million years. The creator is still out there doing kind of marginal work, not really prominent anymore, but still does things from time to time, both on the indie scene and in the big two. And it's an artist. And generally, by the way, I would say the majority of my problems have been with writers and editors, rarely the artists. The artists are rarely a problem, but this artist just screwed me. There's no better way to put it. Cost me money, hurt the store, did bad things. And even though this person is probably, it's not somebody I want to do business with again. I won't do business with this person again. I don't want revenge. No part of any of this stuff is me wanting revenge. And I do smell it a little bit. When I listen to certain other channels sometimes, when I look at comments, when I hear from people inside of comics, there's people who want revenge. There are, as crazy as it sounds, there are creators, there are editors who want revenge on customers. I find that the concept of customers that want revenge weird. It's a product. The best revenge is don't buy it. Don't bring it into your life. That is the best revenge. But when I go look at message boards, I look at some of the mail that comes in, when I look at comments people have made, I can't deny it. There's people who want revenge, who want, it's not just that they want better comics. It's not that they want people who maybe have done the wrong things to step out. It's that they want blood. And I struggle with that perspective. revenge is not a thing in an entertainment industry like this one. It's there is no such thing as revenge. There's people who've been done dirty in comics, no doubt about it. Like I said, I have by this one artist. It is funny because I would nobody would guess it. I there's lots of artists who've been run out of comics for the wrong reasons. There's writers and artists who've promised to do something and not done it. There's been money that's been taken and then just kind of stolen. There's really unscrupulous people out there that have said nasty things, tried to get people fired, other things. There's bad behavior that certainly occurred within comics. That said, I don't see the point in revenge. I do see the point in living well. I see the point in trying to make the situation better for people. I see the point in trying to improve the conditions of comics so that more people can succeed. I see the point in not catering to bad behavior so we don't keep making the same mistakes over and over again. I think there's lots of opportunities for improvement. There's lots of ways where comics should get better. But revenge, I mean, I don't know. I want the bad things to just go away. I don't want some kind of, I don't want revenge. I just want better comics. That's what I want. More and more when I talk to people, I'm hearing this perspective, this kind of exhausted perspective. And it bears remembering. Comics should be something that is fun, should be something that entertains, should be something that you profit off of. If you're a creator, if you're somebody who's working in comics, you should hope that you make good money off of it and can enjoy your life. What a great life to draw, these creative worlds and make money off of it. That should be enough. If you're a customer, it should be enough that you spend money and you get something that is worth your money, that you feel like you've had a good transaction there. The drama in comics is tough. I think that there's a number of people out there, I agree, that want revenge. They're looking for some kind of moment where the bad people are paraded through the street and shamed, and everybody points the fingers and they are declared wrong. I worry about our country in general, the United States. I worry that a lot of the United States is that way. I look at the current political schism between the parties, and it feels like there's people out there who it's not going to be enough until the other side is humiliated, defeated, and shamed. It's not just winning is not enough. Revenge is what's necessary. And where do we go with that? Where does any of that go? I don't know. I think if you find that yourself in that place, if you're bitter, angry, and you want revenge, you should walk away. You should bail. If you find yourself writing the same thing over and over again in the comments, maybe there's something better for your life to get involved in. I don't know. I still find comics magical. It's hard some days. It's hard to have your friends struggle in comics, but I still enjoy them. That's why I'm here. I hope that's why you're here too. But I guess I'm responding to this mail. I'm responding to kind of a series of thoughts here. But I'm curious. What do you want? I mean, have you thought about that? What is it you really want out of all this? Is it revenge? Where does that get you exactly? Help me understand. Thanks for listening.